They made you believe you needed them to survive, but silence is your power. Before we begin, this one's for the version of you who's trying to stay strong at 2 a.m., the version who blocked them but still hopes to see their name, the version who's wondering if healing should really hurt this much. It does at first, but it also leads to the most powerful version of you. So take a breath and let's begin. Heart riser, have you ever reached for your phone in the morning hoping to see their name light up your screen? You blocked them, remember? And yet, your thumb still hovers over the app. That's not weakness, that's trauma. Because when you go no contact, your brain doesn't throw a party. It panics. It misses the noise, even if that noise was chaos. You're not just missing them. You're missing the version of yourself who used to feel wanted. Let's be real. It's lonely at first, but lonely isn't dangerous. Toxic is. No contact isn't about revenge. It's not about being petty. It's about getting out of the fire before it burns you to ash. Maybe they're hurting too. Maybe if I just explain better, maybe I was the problem. No, you weren't the problem. You were the mirror. You're not weak, you're chemically attached. You weren't addicted to the person, you were addicted to the cycle. Dopamine when they love-bombed you, cortisol when they disappeared, oxytocin when they missed you, just enough to pull you back in. Push, pull, high, crash. It's the emotional equivalent of slot machines. That's trauma bonding. Not just emotional attachment, but biochemical imprisonment. As Dr. Patrick Carnes explains, trauma bonds form when pain and pleasure are repeated in cycles. The brain wires safety to the very thing hurting it. That's why no contact feels like withdrawal, because you're not just cutting off a person, you're cutting off the brain's favorite dysfunctional reward system. If this part hit home, heart riser, you'll want to go even deeper. Don't miss my previous episode, Narcissism 101, Trauma Bonding Explained. Even smart people fall for it, plus pop culture exposed. It breaks down exactly how trauma bonds form, with real-world examples that'll make it click. I put the link down in description. Watch it next if you haven't already. You're not trying to get them back, you're trying to get yourself back. You're staring at their last message. Your heart says, just one more text. Your soul whispers, please no, you're not crazy, you're craving resolution. But they don't give resolution, they give loops. And you've been spinning in one long enough. You're not missing them. You're missing the part of you who believed you were finally safe. Closure isn't granted, it's grown. Heart-riser narcissists don't give closure. They leave questions, unfinished sentences, shattered timelines. Why? Because closure gives you power, and they don't want you to have that. Closure isn't found in their apology. It's found in your decision to stop waiting for one. No contact is not an end. It's a beginning. The silence you're sitting in, it's not empty. It's sacred. It's the moment your nervous system exhales, the moment your identity no longer revolves around reacting. Healing begins with the absence of harm. No contact is your first real boundary. And boundaries aren't walls. They're doors that you get to lock, open, or walk through. You're not being dramatic. You're being alive and finally in charge. Your panic isn't betrayal, it's protection gone outdated. If you still flinch at silence or get anxious in stillness, that's not weakness. That's your nervous system doing what it learned to do, survive. But survival isn't the goal anymore. Peace is. So teach your body, we are safe now. We don't chase fire, we choose warmth. They weren't your soulmate. They were your mirror of wounds. You weren't in love with them. You were in love with the fantasy of who you hoped they'd become, but you can't build a future on illusions. The moment you stop arguing with someone's potential, you start choosing your reality. It's time to break the spell. Love is not conditional. Love does not come with eggshells, disclaimers, or ultimatums. You didn't lose your soulmate, you escaped your saboteur. You're not just mourning them, you're mourning who you were with them. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Yes, even though they were the source of pain, you grieve them, and that's okay. You're allowed to cry over someone who broke you. But don't let that grief lie to you. You're not mourning love. You're mourning the dream of love. And grief isn't weakness. It's evidence that you gave deeply, even if they didn't deserve it. You were never half of a whole. You were always whole, waiting to remember. Healing is not loud, it's subtle. It's a quiet decision to wear what you like again. To go for a walk without permission. To eat alone and not feel lonely. You rebuild with small acts of rebellion against who they told you to be. Heartriser, don't just go no contact with them. Go no contact with the version of you who thought love meant suffering. Write your name back into your life. Write your desires, your dreams, your worth. Let's go deeper. Here are some daily rituals to remind yourself that you've chosen you. Wake up without reaching for your phone first. Say one kind thing to yourself before anyone else does. Light a candle, not for them, for peace. Put on a playlist that makes you feel like the main character again. You don't need a 10-step plan. You just need one act of wholeness each day. This is your comeback story, and you're not rushing it. Even a 1% shift today is power. Choosing yourself is the greatest closure there is. If you're still here, still listening, that means you stayed through the ache. You sat with your shaking hands. You didn't pick up the phone. That's not weakness. That's a warrior's breath. Drop a broken heart arrow, wounded heart emoji in the comments if this reminded you of your strength. And if you're on day 1 or day 101 of no contact, just know you were never too much. You were just too true for someone who couldn't handle their own reflection. They don't get your future, you do. This is your rebuild. Before we end, Heartriser, repeat after me, or just let these words sink in. I am not broken, I am healing. I am not ashamed of how long it took. I am proud I kept going. I will not shrink to be loved. I will not beg to be seen. I release what no longer honors me. I remember who I am, and most of all, I don't chase peace anymore. I create it. You did the brave thing, and I'm proud of you. Heartriser, if this held your hand today, if it gave you even one breath of clarity or peace, please like the video so it finds someone else who's still in the dark. Subscribe if you felt seen here. This space is yours now. And if someone you love is hurting like you did, share this with them. Let's heal forward together. In case no one told you today, Heartriser, but I want you to know you're not broken, you're healing, and you are worthy of the love you've always given to others.